it's a lot of physical labor as well as it is like just a lot of long days, a lot of late nights and early mornings, and it can be mentally exhausting a lot of times too, because I mean you're interacting with so many people, but you know, from being up from 3 in the morning doing all the heavy lifting, getting everything ready, and then like welcome everyone in, you know, by the end of it you're spent on a physical level, on an emotional level. I mean it's a lot of work.
So here we go. What do we got in the back, Ben? We're gonna start mixing our country bread, which is just kind of our basic sourdough bread. It consists of 3 ingredients: flour, water, and salt. Kind of looking for about 75 to 78 degrees total. Temperatures are really important when it comes to dough and fermentation. So this is all of our starter. We do about 6 or 7 of these a day.
It is a mostly all sourdough bakery. We do all of our breads through a long fermentation. All of our pastries go through a long fermentation to develop as much flavor and digestibility as possible.
Got some salt, some wheat flour, and then some strong white bread flour in there. Like right now we're measuring off all the ingredients, we're getting it all mixed up. We'll shape it later, but then it'll go into the fridge for 24 to 48 hours before it gets baked. We make about 60 to 62 loaves at a time in this mixing bowl.
By the time that those bowls are done mixing with flour and salt and water, I mean, they're well over 100 pounds.
As the morning goes, because this is gonna take another 4-ish hours to ferment before it's even ready to divide and shape. So we want it to be strong enough that you can stretch it really thin without it tearing too easily. So this is pretty much all the way there. So this is these are our butter blocks. So we use like 83% butter fat, like European style butter. So we stretch it out to being about double the size of our butter block. This is called a lock-in. So this is the first step in making sure that the butter, whoops, we're a little bit short, is all the way encased in the dough. So we'll rotate it 90 degrees, get it floured on both sides. And we'll start on what is called our first fold. So like right now, I'd say on average, we go through 350 to 400 pounds of butter a week. This is all of our croissant dough. So this gets used for every single laminated croissant pastry that we make. So our butter croissants, chocolate croissants, but we'll split it again and you can start to see the layers already starting to form of dough, butter dough. So you can see all those layers in there now. It's proof and bake. So we'll pull them out, we'll let them rise, and then we'll pop them in the oven, bake them, and serve them. All right, so everything's done for these testers, and they look fantastic.
Oh wow.
That's the color that I like. I like a deep gold, almost on the brown side, a little bit more darker on the color. To me, that's where a lot of the flavor in the crust is at, is through that Maillard on the crust. You get a nice, rich brown color. So yeah. That's where it's at, dude. Woo! So we just finished up kind of the morning over at our production kitchen, but now we're heading over to the retail location. We're gonna go kind of see how everyone on that end's doing. We just opened, the store just opened about 15 minutes ago, so it's a good time to go in and check on everyone, see how the bakes went for the day, and get a cup of coffee. We're in it now. Okay, so this is kind of all the finished product. It's gonna go out throughout the day. Everything looks great. Bakes are really nice. Croissants look good. Yeah, everything looks wonderful. So yeah, this is where everything we basically just made over there kind of gets finished off over here. A lot of the pastries, the pies, kind of everything that we kind of start over there comes over here and it gets finished up.
We go through hundreds of pastries a day, thousands of pastries a week. When you're putting it all together, it doesn't feel like a lot when you're getting it all trayed up and getting it. But when you like step back and like kind of look at like your totals, you're like, holy smokes, like how do we even have time to make all this? That's what it feels like, is how did we even have time to make all this? So I'd say the most rewarding part of it is just that it's honest work. A lot of us get to see it from raw flour and water and salt to dough, to divided and shaped, to baked, to sliced, to sold. Like you get to see the whole progression, and you're seeing it from the beginning to the end to the customer, and that is by far the most rewarding part, is like seeing everything from the beginning to the end. This whole thing wouldn't exist without my wife. When I'm overwhelmed and don't have enough people, she's the person that I get to call who comes in and saves my butt.
We're taking some wholesale orders to Deadwood and Spearfish.
When we started, it was just the two of us. He brought me in because we opened a location. He said, yeah, I can't do this alone, you know? And I loved doing something with my hands. And I wasn't really expecting this because I never made bread prior. But doing something with my hands that then turned into this beautiful product was so like calming and just really fulfilling.
You ready?
Yeah.
So we just finished dropping off bread to a new little store in Spearfish called Mesa. We dropped off 35 loaves with her, and now we are kind of backtracking a little bit, heading over to Deadwood to go over to a restaurant named Snitches.
How's it going? JJ.
Makenzie.
What was your name?
Makenzie.
Makenzie, nice to
Yeah.
meet you. I love when I pick up from you guys because it's just a happy ride all the way over. This is awesome. You guys do such a great job. Seriously. We get a lot of people in here who are, surprising amount of people in here who are food snobs, you know, from different parts of the country and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, we constantly get compliments. Everybody.
Cool.
So nice work, man.
Yeah, no, that's good to hear.
What time is it right now?
It is almost noon. We're about quarter to noon right now. Bakery closes in a couple hours, and then from there, we're gonna go to bed, do it all over again.